Well, I would say hello, ladies and gentlemen, but I will say hello to the two people that are watching right now. That's why I let it tick for about a minute. Let it tick for about a minute to see if anybody out there is wanting to watch tonight. Raw is over. I don't know of anything else that is on. Blake McChristie chiming in, and wasn't planning on doing anything tonight, but of course, Chris Schmidt wrote, wanted to know what time I was going live, and then you don't see him anywhere near here. I figured, being as half the goddamn country is under snow and ice storm right now, that this might be a nice public service to come on here and see if we can entertain a few of you tonight. For those of you that want to talk about the Netflix debut of Monday Night Raw, we can talk about that. I've already had my dinner tonight. Had me a couple of fish sandwiches in my new air fryer. Hi, Scooby. What you doing? We haven't done a show in a while, have we, Scooby? We missed a few shows due to various reasons, scheduling, going up against football, baseball, no, not even baseball, NCAA playoffs, you name it. We've had a bunch of shit that I didn't particularly. Still watching. It looks great. Yeah, we only got a couple of you in here so far. I didn't give anybody much notice, but if you click your notification bells, you should be getting these. But many of you are telling me that even if you click the notification bell, and if you're a member and all that shit, many of you are still not being told we're doing a show. I don't know who at YouTube to address about this. Probably get more results talking to YouTube executives on Twitter than anywhere else, because you can't get a phone call through to them. That's for damn sure. That's Pat McAfee and a Cole up on the desk there during Jey Uso's run in there at the end. I was a little surprised they didn't do the first Raw as a 3-hour show for the first one, because the first 22 minutes was a blow me fest out of The Rock and Triple H. They took up the first 22 minutes of the show. And so I figured if nothing else, go 2.5 hours to make up for the time that they wasted. But they didn't do that. I get them now. I had to turn it off. And well, you try that, guys. For those of you that aren't getting the notifications, turn off your notification bell and then turn it back on and see what that does. I do not know if I will have any help tonight. Let me see. Looks like Raw is going to be at least 3 hours tonight. No, it ain't. It was on 2 hours. Nope. Yeah, Bob. I think it's over. I thought they were signing off. Let me see. I could be wrong. Yeah, I thought Raw was over. Hang on a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see real quick. What do they plug in here? Yeah, I thought Raw had wrapped up. I thought 2 hours was it. Well, no, they're showing more. Okay, well, fuck it. We're gonna go against it. Hang on, I'm telling Bob, I thought they signed off. Oh well, too late now. Guess I'll see the rest of it later. All right. Chris Schmidt has chimed in. And Chris, Blake McChristie is the only one that spoke here so far tonight. Yeah, apparently Raw is going to go over tonight, which I thought personally was a good idea, being as Triple H and Rock took up the first 22 minutes. I thought they had signed off. Yeah, I thought we still had Punk and Seth Rollins to go. Oh, well. Chris Schmidt says he's offered a $20 challenge because we got Jambi needing some rice for her and her kid. We've got Eunice needing a backpack. Her backpack ripped and her wallet fell out of it. Fortunately, she only had 150 pesos in it, which was about $3. And I told her we would try and get her a new backpack on here tonight. A new backpack is about $20. And So those are a couple of the people needing help. I got a few more listed on my phone. But I don't know if we'll stay on here very long tonight or not. I thought Raw would go off at 10 o'clock like they told everybody they were going to do. And I picked a good time to quit watching because they got Drew McIntyre out there now. So I wouldn't think a shitload of people are totally glued to their television. And obviously everybody's I thought we were missing a match that we didn't get as well. Hell, maybe it's scheduled for one of the pay-per-views or something. I don't pay attention to it. But then again, there's nothing to stop you all from watching Raw in the background and participating with us. I can't let the screen roll or it will probably cause problems, I would think. So I mean, I guess I could throw it on this screen here, but then I can't see what you guys are doing. So it's up to you if we keep participating with the show or not. We'll give it a 30-minute trial. Chris Schmidt has issued a $20 challenge. He says he will only do that if someone else does 20. What are your opinions about what you've seen so far, Bobby Bob?
It's like a low quality pay-per-view. I mean, I haven't seen anything on it. Yeah, I haven't seen anything on it that makes me just go, "Holy shit, that was awesome."
No, there hasn't. I thought the opening was good, and if you're going to waste 22 minutes on the opening, that was a good.
Yeah, I mean, The Rock showing up was a big deal, and
Donald Flowers says he will accept Chris Schmidt's challenge, and we haven't been on in a while, and we can really use some help for these families. I had to miss a few. It's very, very frozen here. I paid a guy. He was nice enough to dig my car out for $10 fucking. He was here anyway. He said I should be charging 15. He says, but Kenny, I see your car needs to be dug out. And he says, I've already done a few cars. I said, what do you charge me to do it? He said, you got a 10 on you? I said, yeah, because I wasn't going to do it. I'll be here till that goddamn thing melts. And why does Vampiro still not have a membership?
It's never.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
You and Bob should do a watch along now. Well, we can't because.
Well, the screen's behind me. I mean,
yeah,
so I could do a watch along.
Bob. The screen is behind me, so that's a great idea, Director Chris. But no one else is going to see it but me and Bob.
Yeah, I agree, Blake. The stage, the setup is good.
The black canvas. I'm glad Blake pointed that out because the black canvas was the first thing I noticed, and I was hoping that was going to be a permanent thing.
Now the painting that the guy was doing at the in the intro, I would love to see that painting. That is very cool. I bet they put that up at the. I'm pretty sure that there's
going to be replicas of that made pretty soon, I would think.
Yeah,
and
that looked pretty awesome. I didn't get a good look at all of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Vampiros, have you got a reason that you don't think this show is worth $3 or a donation? Just checking. And I was nice enough with all the frozen tundra around half the United States. Apparently 55 million people affected by this snowstorm. I considered going on over the weekend, but there was just so much. I really thought the Detroit, Minnesota game was going to be, if I'd have known how that was going to turn out, I'd have went live last night. But we've got, depending where you live in Louisville, anywhere from as little as 8 or 9 inches to as much as maybe 12 to 14 inches, depending what parts of Louisville you live in. We've got a lot of ice. Blake did 5, but well, thank you, Blake.
So the problem, Ghost, is that in order for me to watch the show, to do the watch along, I'm having to do this and watch a screen that I can't put on camera because of copyright and
and I'm in the same boat.
And then I won't be able to talk into my microphone, which will be behind me at that point. So.
And SmackDown shut me down when I was promoting their show during COVID with half a building. And Charlotte Flair was in the ring calling herself the Star Maker. And I was doing a watch along with them in the background and the sign down. That's as good as you could see it. That angle has never changed. And they still shut me down for 3 days. I had to write to WWE and say, hey, in as polite a terms as I could put it, you stupid fucks, I was trying to help you. I had a badge for 20 months until you told me to blow you. Well, here you are. After our conversation about donating, I have 2 kids. So if you have 2 kids in college and don't have $3 fucking dollars, then you can still blow me. How's that? If $3 prevents you from participating with the show, I'm here. This is to entertain people and to help people. And if you don't want to be a part of that and just to blow yourself, then I don't give a fuck if you watch the show. And I will repeat what I said to you the last time. If $3 prevents you from putting your fucking 2 kids in college, I put 2 kids in college, and I got about 4 I'm putting in college right now in the Philippines. No, theirs isn't expensive as ours, but I put 2 in college here. No interest in penis. I'm not. I'll save him his problems. Bob, do the honors. Just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. I think he does have an interest. There you go. Make another account, motherfucker. As y'all can tell, I'm not in the mood. A lot of ice around here, a lot of snow. I come on here as a public service. Opened it up for everybody tonight. Hoping that you might have $2 or $3, $4, $5. Schmidt donated 20 for crying out loud. Donald Flowers, who's been in hiding for God knows when, donated $20. He donated more than that not long ago. I think Donald did 100 not too long ago.
What are you sorry
for? T-Maker, what are you sorry about? I have to know what you're sorry about before I can accept your apology. What's T-Maker sorry about? Did he say something?
I don't know. I didn't see.
I never see T-Maker in here anymore, so we're shocked to see him. But I'm glad he's here. How much snow did you get in Louisville? The amount that I just told you about 3 minutes ago. 8 to 11 inches and some 8 to 11 inches.
We're supposed to get 3 to 6 here on Thursday.
You said I wasn't going to be here. Well, you showed my ass, didn't you? I sent him a link on Twitter. I said, well, I know you're not going to be here, but here you go. So see, reverse psychology, Bob.
Right.
That'll reverse psychology shit.
It works every time it does.
But no, Vampirose and his 2 fucking kids in college. Well, congratulations. If you're running so tight, Vampirose, and I know you're still watching because you're desperate to see me. If you're running so tight that you can't afford $3 fucking to help people, at least with a fucking membership, not to mention some type of small donation, then I don't give a fuck if you watch the show. I'm not on here like some of these big time podcasters to line my own pockets. I'm trying to fucking help people. And if you can't help us with that, I don't give a fuck if you watch the show or not. I truly don't.
Yeah,
if I cared about donate, I would talk about a lot of shit that I don't talk about. So, or reverse of that in some cases. Donald was bitching. He says that Raw wasn't very good. He was bored. Well, I wasn't bored. It was all right. I hadn't seen anything that bored me. I said, you want to be bored, watch fucking AEW. If you want to get bored, if you don't want to take sleeping pills, watch AEW. That'll help.
You and the 12 other people.
I got friends over there on AEW, but they're just not doing good shows right now. And I'm not basing that on my own expertise. I'm basing that on what every fucking body tells me that likes to watch wrestling. I never was a big AEW fan to begin with. But for those that were, they're not anymore. The viewership's in the fucking tank.
Well, the problem with AEW is that they are so into the Meltzer camp of the belief that everything that happens in the ring, in-ring product, is the only thing that matters. The bouncing around, the jumping, the flipping, the choreographing, whatever. That's the only thing that matters. The stories are not important. Yeah. And I can tell you it's the exact opposite. The WWE,
has some good stories.
They can put on decent in-ring product, but the in-ring product does not matter as much as the storylines. Yeah. And as much as I hate to agree with Vince Russo on something, he's right about this. If you're not telling a story, why do you want to watch fake fighting?
Yeah.
Cares?
It's like me with Korean television right now. Now I took Netflix to see if I gave a shit to see Raw live. Well, now that it's PG, not even PG-13, somebody got bleeped to the beginning of the fucking show, but Rock did get bullshit in. Y'all don't want to hear that bullshit. I'm shocked that got in. But Raw has been reduced not from PG-13 to PG. So they're going to make it even stricter. I had originally heard that the Raw was going to be uncensored. That's the goddamn Raw I wanted to see. That's the most successful Raw we've ever had, was the Attitude Era. And yeah, they pushed it a little too far sometimes for kids, but there's a simple way to do this. You air live the uncensored show. And then if you're so goddamn sensitive about what your kids hear or see or do, then they can make an edited version to appear on another network or also on Netflix. They could do that. And I guarantee you the uncensored version would outrate the censored version, because that's what the Attitude Era did. We were getting 9, 10, and 11 million. Well, I think 9 million was the record, if you believe the ratings. About roughly about 9 million people watching Raw was the record. You can't get 3 million to watch Raw anymore. I don't know if they've cracked 3 million in quite some time. And they brag when they do. I remember them bragging about getting 2 million. I remember AEW bragging about getting 1.6. I remember TNA's all-time record was like 1.6. And that was when Hogan first debuted down there. And they're bragging about 1.6. They had other shows during the Attitude Era. Well, yeah, there was all kinds of shit to watch. You know, you had Sunday Night Heat, which Stevie Ray Cool was claiming he had a lot to do with. Sweet Stevie Cool, I'm sorry. And Bob, I more or less got tied into 2 stories over on Maven's podcast. I don't watch a lot of podcasts, but people sent me links to it. And Maven and Devon Dudley were doing a podcast talking about racism in the WWE. And even that got my attention because I've been very aware of racism and racist in the WWE. So I wanted to hear what they had to say. And I actually was tied into 2 of those stories in a way, kind of in a background way. When Devon was talking about, well, it was considered racist that the black man was being told by the white man to go get the tables. Have you seen the clip? Have you seen where
I haven't watched it?
You should check it out because it's pretty good. They also talk about somebody in the office that was very racist and told Devon to his face, "I do not like you because you're black. That's the reason I don't like you." And nice. he named who it wasn't. And then he said it wasn't Doc, because a couple of my first guesses were people he said weren't. He said Doc Hendricks. I could see Doc Hendricks saying that to somebody. I don't like you because you're black. I could see him doing that. I've known of him and about him and been on some shows with him over the years. I could have saw Vince McMahon saying that to somebody. Even though he likes to really promote Martin Luther King Day. Well, he's also in that clip where he calls Cena my N-word. And that pissed a lot of fucking people off. A lot of people were disappointed that Cena agreed to participate with that segment. Well, Cena didn't have the clout to say no. Well, yeah, he did. I said no to a lot of shit, even at OVW, or if WWE requested it, and I would say no. And their options were, well, we'll do something else. We'll do it without him, or we can fire him. And but that's the risk you take when you have morals and ethics and stand up against shit you don't want to do. And I did it several times of shit either WWE would say they wanted done or shit that Jimmy wanted done. Not so much Danny Davis. It would normally be Jimmy. And I said, no, Jimmy, I'm not going to do that. And yeah, I guess being his best friend at that time gave me a little clout to say no. But when WWE requested, now you're taking your so-called career in your own hands. But once they said, and I heard the whole story, I know who it was that Devon had the problem with. And now Devon still to this day doesn't speak to him because now he says he tries to be nice to him. No, we're not going to play that shit because remember what you used to say to me? And he still won't really even apologize for it. So, and I'll let you all watch it. You all can see if you can figure out who it is and we'll talk about it on another show. But the mistaking, where they talked about it being racist, that Bubba Ray, the white guy, would tell the black man to get the table, and it was always the white man telling the black guy to get the table. Wasn't that racist? Well, to me, that's kind of nitpicking a little bit. One of you's got to get the goddamn table. I guess you could have switched it up, but let's face it, Bubba Ray did a lot more of the talking than Devon did.
Right.
But Devon's answer, no, I didn't care because we sell a shitload of these T-shirts. Devon, get the table. Whose name is on the shirts and whose isn't? Mine. And who does everybody remember? They remember me. He says, no, I don't have a problem with it. He says, I make a shitload of money off these shirts and they remember me. He said, so if you think I got a problem with that, I thought it was Bubba's catchphrase. He said it. Yeah. He said it. So, who came? I mean, it could have been Devon came up with it. I don't know. I've never really talked to him about it. But backstage at Dan DeB Severin's final show in Lexington, Kentucky, it was a house show at Rupp Arena. I was backstage with Sweet Stevie Cool, and he was telling me how he was basically running Sunday Night Heat. The McMahons knew nothing about what they were doing. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit. He says, pretty much my show. He says, we just do what we want. I don't even think they know what airs. He said, they pretty much kind of just put me in charge of it. And so we were talking about that shit. And then we go to the curtain and we watch the Dudleys have a house. And I forget who it was against, but it was a fucking knockdown, drag out 22-minute house show match that tore the fucking house down. And I didn't even know if Devon and Bubba knew who I was. Donations would be appreciated. We only have 2. So anybody that can match those $20 donations to help our people, if you haven't donated in a long time, I realize it's Christmas. I realize some of you are between jobs. I don't even have one, and I'm still donating. And even money that we make off the show, when I get paid to do other podcasts and shit like that, a good chunk of that money goes to help these people. So if you can be of any help whatsoever, $10, $20. I don't think it's going to put any of you in the poorhouse. These people can use some help. And I'm on here on a cold, frigid fucking night with a lot of goddamn snow on the ground with dogs that barely can walk in the goddamn snow. But yet here I am doing a show. So, and hopefully those of you that are watching appreciate it. But yeah, I have no idea if that was Bubba's catchphrase or not. Could have been either one of them come up with it. Could have been the WWE. It could have been one of the executives. I don't know. But all I know is that Bubba doesn't have a problem with it. So they the match tore the house down. So they come back and they're just puffing and blown up because they wrestled a hard match. Like I said, didn't know if they knew me from apple butter. I had no idea. Cornette didn't like Bubba. He didn't have any problem with Devon. And so I knew that there was that.
Which was surprising, right?
Yeah, yeah, kind of surprising when it comes down to that. So they come back. I said, God damn, guys. I said, that was a hell of a match. I said, fuck Devon. I said, that was just a hell of a match, Devon. And I said it to Bubba. And Bubba, this is how I knew he knew who I was. He says, you know my fucking name. I said, oh shit. Yeah. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I fucked up. He says, how long you been in this fucking business? He said, you've been in this business forever. Well, I don't think I'd been in forever at that point. Whenever Dan DeB Severin's last show was, that was the night that happened, whenever that was. He says, but I can't believe you called me Devon. And Devon tapped me on the shoulder. He said, that's okay. You remembered the good one. So that was his comment. And I thought I was the only one to ever fuck up their names. Well, Devon is now saying on his podcast, it happens all the time that people call Bubba Devon and maybe not even speak to Devon at all. They just speak to Bubba because he's the one they speak to. And so I told Chris, I said, Chris, I got figured basically into that story because I thought I was the only one that ever mistook who they were and got yelled at about it. And but I said, at least I knew that Bubba Ray knew who I was. How long you been in this goddamn business? You've been in this business forever and you don't know who I am. So
yeah, Devon, of course I know who you are.
Yeah, backhanded compliment, I guess. And I guess when you're the best friend of a guy who hates you and makes it open that he hates you, I guess you'll know who I am through that way.
Thank you,
Paul RJ says he has sent $10. That ain't 20, but it is 10, and we appreciate it.
Well, and it's like $3,000 Australian.
Like $3,000 in Australia, according to the things I'm hearing. So yeah, we got $10 from Paul RJ. We got $20 from Donald Flowers, and we got the 20 from Schmidt. Donald Flowers matched the $20 challenge by Chris Schmidt. We appreciate both of you. And there's others of you in here we're still waiting on. Oh, and we got $5 from Blake McChristy a little bit earlier.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that $10 is not going to kill anybody in here if you would like to help these people. And well, I've donated in the past. Well, we all have. And like I said, we're trying to help Eunice get a backpack. If you buy those cheap ones, they don't last long. I have bought several of the $7 to $10 backpacks, and the fucking things don't last. But you need to get them about a $20 backpack to fucking hope it will last and hope it will work. And backpacks are important to all these kids, so I hate to tell them no. What else we got going on? So yeah, I guess I'll see this last hour to 90 minutes of Raw eventually. I am interested to see how the Seth Rollins match goes. Have you got a winner in that one, Bob? What do you think?
Oh, I think Punk wins that.
I don't think there's any chance in hell that Punk came back to lose to Seth Rollins.
Well, and if they were going to set something up longer term, then maybe. But I think what they're setting up is a heel turn for Rollins, because
80% of the house is cheering for Punk when they have these in-ring interviews anyway.
Yeah, and so, the one last week, Punk just owned Rollins. Oh
as my son said, that is how you talk somebody into the building.
Yeah, and
that interview was perfect in my opinion, because I didn't particularly give a shit one way or the other, but now they make me want to see it.
Yeah, there's enough realism
of the shoots that were worked into it.
Yeah,
and then there was another. Then I think he also talked about, well, Vince McMahon didn't like me, but he sure liked you.
Yeah. So, well, and of course they didn't mention McMahon by name, but
I don't everybody knew who they were talking about.
The implication was there. The thing about it for me is that Rollins, with the over-the-top laughter, the stupid clothes, the stupid the gimmick of him calling, I'm a revolutionary, I'm a missionary position, Becky owns me. It is so fake. It is so, I am a character, where when Punk talks, you can believe that he does it with a realism that makes you say, yeah, this is this guy talking. This is Phil Brooks out there being honest about shit. Where with Seth, it just comes across as, I'm playing this silly character. Look at me, la-di-da-di-da. And
which I think is to cover up, if you whip me, it's fake anyway.
Yeah. Well, it could be.
If you whip me, it's fake anyway.
If I win, it's real. If you whip me, it's fake.
And the sad thing is that Paul RJ sees way more OVW than I do, because I had no clue that Mick Foley came out as Dude Love at OVW. I know that he's been trying to appear there once every 4 or 6 weeks, and I was with Mick Foley down in Evansville when we had our appearance down there. He was kind enough. I'd never had him sign any pictures for me, and I've got a couple of signed pictures here from Mick, which I'd never had him get one before. He did. I made, apparently, according to him, 2 of his books, both of his comebacks. I was the first one to take Sacco when he came back the first time. And I was the first one to take Sacco when he came back the second time, because they would normally come down here for tune-up matches at the Louisville Gardens. And both times I was managing against him. Well, not against him in the first one. He was a referee. And I jumped in the ring to interfere. And he pulled the sock out of his pants and shoved it down my throat. And as I told people, didn't taste as bad as you thought it would. You thought it tasted a lot worse.
Yeah, you put a little bit of flavorings on there.
Yeah, you get your seasonings and your applesauce and everything on there, and it ain't that bad.
It's not so bad.
So,
do you know if John Cena's farewell tour is going to come through Louisville? I mean, I know he's going to Indianapolis for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but I have not seen anything scheduled at the Yum Center, and that's where it would be if they're coming. Right. I have not seen anything. He's probably primarily going to be doing pay-per-views and some occasional Raw.
Right.
And Indianapolis might be close enough, if you're in Louisville and you want to see it. What was scary is they said tonight was the biggest gate WWE's ever had for a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, well,
they've appeared in real domes, so that tells you what they did to the prices tonight.
Yeah, well, they said it was
the biggest gate.
it was the biggest arena gate as opposed to stadium gate. But that tells you those prices were extraordinarily high.
They got jacked up, and they spent a lot of time blowing the Netflix executives from what I've
17,000 folks there. They probably had an average ticket price of minimum. I mean, the cheap seats were probably $250.
Well, those ringside seats all had Netflix written on them, and you get to take those home.
Yeah, those were $1,000 seats,
and those were probably 500 minimum.
Oh, they're $1,000 seats easy.
Yeah, 500 minimum, no matter how far back they go, and 1,000 guaranteed for front row.
Raw is coming to Dallas. Let's see. So this next Saturday night's main event is
his prototype character tonight, but obviously you can't tie OVW into that because that's Louisville, not California. He said that his apartment was 6 blocks from the arena. So
then he talked about
further away than that.
He's got his start there at UPW. So
Jimmy says that they did everything they could to ruin him by trying to make him a fucking robot, and he says we'll let him keep the name Prototype, but he ain't gonna be no fucking robot.
Well, Prototype's not a bad gimmick.
I did not want to manage a robot.
Right. Well, it's not a bad gimmick if he is, I am the wrestler of the future, that kind of shit.
But what a lot of people do not realize is that when Rico was about to be released, John Cena was about to be released. And if you watch the first ever DVD that featured John Cena, that myself is on, Cornette, Danny Davis, they interview Vince. And Vince says, I didn't get it. I didn't see it. And he admits on there that he did not get the John Cena character. And me and Danny and Jimmy are all saying, fuck, we knew he was a star the first time we saw him. I was shocked they even put him with me because he did not need me. It worked out well because we played off each other well. And a lot of the shit we did just happened to work out because we knew what to do. But he didn't need me. He would have been fine. I wasn't going to teach him any promo skills. He pretty much had that shit figured out when he got here. As a matter of fact, they used to have a thing in OVW called Stump John Cena. And you would come up with a scenario like you've done with me about the pencil. Kenny cut a promo on a pencil or an ink pen or whatever. And we would do that with Cena. And somebody came up with a squirrel, a cage, and a tree. Cut a promo on a squirrel, a cage, and a tree. And that son of a bitch instantly went into one of the greatest promos you've ever heard about a squirrel, a cage, and a tree. And that's where the flying squirrel came from. And it involved his penis and his nuts. So we couldn't use that promo on TV.
No,
but he nicknamed that the flying squirrel.
John has gone on several shows and mentioned that you taught him how to work heel.
Yeah. He did that in Germany, as a matter of fact. I had not heard about it, but there was a German reporter over there that had interviewed John and was on actually the same plane with him. And the question was, now this was the German reporter that I'd heard of. God, what was his guy? I know his name. Can't think of it right now.
Gunther Ludwig Kaiser.
It wasn't. That was a different one.
Go with that.
God damn it. Good enough. I'm sitting there picturing him plain as day. He's lost a lot of weight. And, but this German reporter wrote me back when a few apartments ago. And he said, John Cena put you over big today. I said, how's that? And he says, well, one of the reporters asked him, he says, who taught you more about wrestling, Danny Davis or Jim Cornette? And he said, he instantly said, neither. And he said, oh, who taught you the most? He said, Kenny Bolin. He said, really? He was your manager. What did he teach you? He said, how to be a heel. He said, because I didn't know how to be a heel till I started working with him. So that was a great compliment. And that was a long time ago. I don't recall getting a lot of credit since then. But apparently from time to time, it'll come up and he gives me credit for teaching him how to be a heel. But I mean, that's what our job was. My job was to develop the bad guys. Your job wasn't to develop the baby, but a lot of the baby faces Matt Morgan gives me as much credit as anybody, because he said, if I had not got put in programs with you, nobody would have given a shit about me. He says, I've been down here a long time. Nobody gave a shit about Matt Morgan. The minute I got in programs with you, and you and I got started going back and forth with each other, that's when people gave a shit. And he's this king. And I just chatted with him a couple of days ago. And he told me when I wanted a decent Republican on his show to let him know. I said, well, if that ever happens. And but no, he was very kind to say that. But before that was said, I remember when Matt Morgan got sent back down to OVW. asked him, I said, what are you doing here? He says, well, creative doesn't have anything for me. And I said, so they let you go and sent you back down here? He said, appears to be. I said, well, seems to me if you can't find something to do with Matt Morgan, you fire fucking creative. Jesus fucking Christ. And Jimmy hears me and he said, that's the greatest summary of that I've ever heard. If you can't find something for Matt Morgan, fire creative. Don't get rid of fucking Matt Morgan. 7 feet tall, cuts a promo like a motherfucker, and you ain't got anything for him? And no, fire fucking creative. And I even since Jimmy and I have quit speaking, I've heard him tell people, no, I remember when Bolin said, fire creative. And I stick to that. If you can't find something. And I also said, if I was going to start a company from scratch at this time and not give him a fucking stuttering gimmick, I would start my company with Matt Morgan, because now I've got a baby face or a heel, whatever I want. If I want to make him the biggest baby face in the company, he'll be that. If I want to make him the biggest heel in the company, he'll be that. More than likely, I would have made him the baby face because he's easy to like. And so I think he was appreciative that I had his back and that I would say such a thing in front of WWE executives, because they were in there, because they always had their executives down there, the Jim Rosses, the Bruce Pritchards, the Tommy Dreamers, those guys would all be down there. And I'd say what I thought in front of them, probably didn't make any friends doing that, but at least they knew where I stood and what I thought. So, we don't have a lot of people interacting, and we don't have a lot of people, last I checked, donating. So, hang on here. I'm going to put a time limit on it. No, that's it. We got 3 donations after us not being on here forever and coming on here during the fucking winter storm. And we got 3 donations. Well, 4 if you count Mr. Christie's $5.
Yeah.
We'll just here 17 more minutes. That'll be damn near. That'll be 50 minutes. Yeah. We'll hang in here 17 more minutes, and if we make $60, I'll hang around a little longer. And if we don't, I'll see about doing a show tomorrow.
The NFL regular season, we closed out on not a high note. I was 8-8. You were 7-9. Jason was 6-8.
Right, damn. That's well, like I said.
Well, we had a lot of.
You didn't know who was playing,
right?
Kansas City shut out by Denver.
Yeah,
because all the prognosticators were saying, "Oh, Kansas City, well, they can't bench everybody."
So and they
can send out their worst and give Denver a hell of a game. Well, apparently, fucking not, and that's classless of Denver to do that, because that took the playoffs. Even though if Miami, I didn't know Tua wasn't going to play. So I mean, I like the backup quarterback, but he's only played 2 games this year, maybe 3.
Yeah, I heard that Aaron Rodgers is going to sign on to the Miami.
No, you didn't.
I just made that up.
I'd put a stop to that shit. I'd call Dan Marino and say, "What are you trying to do to my franchise?" Is what I'd do. Yeah.
So
nobody's going to want Aaron Rodgers for nothing more than a backup, because he got everything he fucking wanted in New York, and he couldn't deliver other than to beat Miami. That's the only thing he looked like gold in the last game of the year against Huntley.
Yeah.
No, that was
yeah.
But
so
Cincinnati wins 5 in a row to close out the season, and Kansas City can't put out a fucking competitive team, and handpicked who they wanted in the playoffs, because if they bother to beat Denver, which they beat everybody fucking else except one team, but no, they handpicked to kick Cincinnati out of the playoffs, but not even showing up to fucking play. Something needs to be done about that. Apparently, they've never figured out a way to do it. It's like these teams battling for the bitching at New England for winning their last game to take them out of the number 1 draft pick. Tennessee gets it now.
Right.
Oh, they won. Well, they need to do it like the NBA does, to where the
lottery
7 teams go into a lottery.
Baseball
and then
does
at least
that now.
you play some competitive football down the stretch. So my hat's off to New England for fucking at least trying.
Well, they really ought to do it
fucking hard. That's for goddamn sure.
They really ought to do it as a reverse lottery, so that the team that finishes last gets 1 ball. The team that finishes next to last gets 2 balls, so that you're in that thing. You're not rewarded.
I have not heard that scenario before, but I like that. That's a good idea. To where you have some incentive to win a fucking game.
Exactly.
And they need to come up with something to where you don't throw games at the end of the year just to rest your players. And I'll tell you who else it ain't cool with: the fans that buy a fucking ticket to see those starters.
Yeah.
Like when Michael Jordan wouldn't play or LeBron James wouldn't play.
Well,
They only come to your fucking town once a year and then they set on your game. That's bullshit. At least put them in for a fucking half.
Yeah.
And then you got these selfish fucks that were wanting to pad their stats that played the whole game. You had that one guy who needed 5 yards to make $3 million. 5 yards.
You can't blame him for, and plus it was.
I would have put 11 people on him to make sure he didn't catch that pass. Yeah. Fuck everybody, because they just ran one more play. I'd have put 11 on him.
Well, you know what
Catching
though,
11 people hanging on your ass. I'd have passed interference. I'd have done everything to make sure he didn't get
the team. Could have saved $3 million by not throwing a pass over there, right? I mean, so
they could have.
It's the owner's incentive to not give that guy, but it's also like a record-setting thing. He got him over 1,000 yards for the year, and that gave him, I think, 11 consecutive seasons with 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So I mean, from that aspect, I get
do not come in there and try to get personal stats. It's a team number, but. I would be one of those selfish fucks that if I was going to break an NFL record and it's the only way I might be remembered in the NFL, the season's over. We ain't going to the playoffs.
Saquon Barkley sat in the Philadelphia game with a chance to break the all-time rushing record.
Well, they said he wasn't happy about it either. He was told to sit.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, the people after the game said he wasn't happy about it, but he understood.
Sure.
Well, I think that was selfish of the team. If he wants to play. I mean, there's 17 games in a season. Yeah, you might get hurt, but
it is against the Giants. Well, and it was against the Giants.
The airport,
right? It was against the Giants, which was his old team.
Exactly. All the motivation in the world.
Right. There were a couple of games that we actually picked the game right, but we missed like a half point on the spread. Like the Cincinnati game, we picked Cincinnati to win, and they won by 2, but the spread was 2.5. So so those were some of our losses. Some of the game, like Atlanta, Carolina, was weird. I wouldn't have expected that to go the way it did.
No, I don't think a lot of people expected that.
No one expected Chicago to step up and kick Green Bay's ass.
Kansas City being shut out by Denver. I didn't see that.
At one point,
if you remember, when I heard that the Kansas City was resting half the team, I backed off the pick and said I got Denver covering. Well, they covered all right.
Yeah.
And in Seattle, I didn't realize the Rams were taking off half the fucking team. And
they had already clinched their spot, so it didn't matter. And it's been really weird because for the most part,
did you see they put a starter in because they were worried about they didn't want to go to Philadelphia, so they put their starter back in on the last drive. I think it was the Seattle game.
Buffalo. Josh Allen played one play so he could keep his starting game streak alive.
Well, took one snap and out he came. So
I mean, I guess technically, but that's kind of BS, right?
Well, I'd have done it.
So you're pissed off that they throw the ball to Mike Evans, but you're okay with Josh Allen taking one snap and leaving the game.
His was greed. Josh's was for the all-time NFL consecutive game record, and he's trying to catch that piece of shit.
Evans was. I mean, there was $3 million involved, but it was also an NFL record.
There was no bonus for Josh Allen keeping the streak going. He was in there to get his $3 million bonus. The only reason he was in there. Game was over.
He also had tied an NFL record.
The whole game to get those 5 yards. He had the whole game, and he couldn't do it.
Well, and plus it's an 18-game season now, so it's not like 1,000 yards when they were playing 12 games.
Yeah, a lot of these guys broke their records in 12-game seasons, 14-game seasons forever.
Right.
Now they got 3 extra games. Might be 4 extra. I think they ought to eliminate preseason altogether. College football doesn't have preseason.
Just play. Yeah. Then they play Compton State or whoever.
No, he probably will not catch the Favre, but second place ain't bad either. So, second place. Oh, I forgot. Ghost is in here blowing his boy Favre. He'll never catch him, man. Speaking of people with stupid accents, my brother, Hick boy, out in Henry County, the racist fuck. He's counting down the days till Joe Biden's out of office. Can't wait till we get that shit turd out of office, man, so we can get this country straight again. I said, name me 5 things that Joe Biden has done that have negatively affected you. He brings up Iran. Okay, so let's say Joe Biden. I know. I'm saying the same thing. I said, he's done more to hurt this country. Then he mentioned something about Korea. He's done more to hurt us than Korea. You know, he's not very bright. So you're trying to dissect and comprehend what the fuck he's typing. But he brings up Korea. He brings up Iran. I'm thinking, well, how does this affect you? I said, name me 5 things that Joe Biden has done that have negatively affected you. I said, can't be the COVID checks. Nancy Pelosi got you those, and then Trump held him back for 3 weeks. They put his name on them. Joe Biden killed more people. More people died under his watch with COVID. Well, if they did, it's because the dumb fucks didn't get vaccinated. And if they did, he had 4 years that he was managing COVID. Trump was in what, for the last year of it, I guess? Yeah, he would have been in for the last year of it because COVID didn't shut down till March of 2020. Trump was voted out by fucking November
of 2020.
So he wasn't in for much of it. But anytime you hear people talk about 1.3 million died, they said it was Trump's fault because of him pushing hydroxychloroquine, Lysol, bleach, and laser light, which none of the floor did very much. And then there was some other drug that Trump was financially invested in that was not that was deemed not to work. Do not do this. Wasn't hydroxychloroquine, it was another one. But hydroxychloroquine, when he was pushing real big too, and he was financially invested into it. So yeah, of course he's going to push it. Lysol, bleach, and laser light. Well, none of those things fucking were recommended either. The CDC or whoever they were said they're shaking their fucking head when Fauci and the girl with the scarves, whatever her fucking name was. So even if it was, Biden had 4 years to manage it. And I personally never knew one person that got vaccinated that was labeled to have died from COVID. There was one person died from COVID, and the guy said, no, she died of something else. I said, well, I saw the coroner's report, and it says she died of complications due to COVID. A lot of these people had something else fucking wrong with them. So, but yeah, when you're managing COVID for 4 years and you're trying to motivate people to get vaccinated, but I don't know. I had 15 family members die from COVID, and none of them were vaccinated, and all of them didn't get vaccinated because of what Trump told them to do or not to do. So, and as Jerry Lawler once said, I do not feel sorry for stupid people, even when they're in my own family. So, and then he's talking about, apparently Biden promised free internet for people in rural areas. Well, number one, if they get free internet, it's going to be that 50 megabyte, maximum 100 megabyte shit. That's going to be the best they're going to get. I can't function on 50 to 100, so I couldn't take the free internet if they offered it.
It's going to be Elon's Starlink.
Yeah, well, I don't think Biden's going to be pushing the Elon Starlink. I don't think.
Yeah, they're all together. It's a big cabal.
It could be, but so my brother's pissed, who claims to be a Republican, takes every Democratic handout he can get, Social Security, COVID checks, food stamps, whatever the fuck he can get from the government, but claims to be a Republican. The only reason he likes Republicans is he likes the racism. He likes the homophobia. He likes the womanizing. Doesn't have any problems voting for sexual assaulters and rapists. It doesn't bother him at all. Yeah, I said it on this channel again. We're fucked anyway, so who cares? So, but yeah, and I told him, I said, you are a Democrat that it loves the racism of Republicans. But other than that, you're a Democrat. You want every fucking handout you can get. Now you're pissed at Joe Biden because you don't have free internet in your rural area. If you did get it, it's going to be a shitty internet anyway. Compared to, because it used to be 50 to 100 megabytes you could function on. Most people that run any type of a business can't do that.
Right. Well, and just wait till the Trump tariffs hit and then see how much everything costs at Walmart and
well, and then corporate greed, supply and demand, worldwide supply and demand, but they're too stupid to fucking process that. That they think Trump's going to wait, and he's already come out and said, I can't do anything about gas prices. I can't do anything about grocery prices, even though I told you I was going to take care of it on day one. Well, I'm elected now. Oh, just to let you know, I can't do shit.
Yeah, I thought the Ukraine war was going to end on day one after
day one. I'm not even going to wait to be. I'm not going to wait to be inaugurated. I'm going to take care of that shit on day one. Well, guess what they're still doing? Guess what all the wars are still doing? Guess what Israel is still doing? Palestine, the whole lot of them. Guess what they're all still doing? Same shit they've been doing.
A little bit of fighting out there, yeah.
Well, Bob, 3 donations.
I guess it's time to go watch the rest of the Raw.
Well, Jazzy Jana has helped save the day a little bit. She has matched the $20. We didn't see her comment in here, I don't think.
She didn't.
But Jazzy Jana's done 20, and we got 4 minutes left. If we can get 20 more measly dollars, I'll hang around a little bit longer. And if Bob wants to go watch the rest of it, he's welcome to do so. I mean, I do kind of want to see the Punk match, but I'm already telling you, Punk's going to win. And if I'm wrong on that, well, I won't be. I don't think Bob will be either. But Jazzy Jana's done 20, so we got 20, 40, 60, 70. So we got 75. So if we can make 25 more dollars, it'd be $100 on a Monday night. Are we still going to do a show tomorrow on our regular Tuesday? Can't hurt. Everybody's still going to be snowed in. Exactly. And we won't be going head to head with Netflix Raw. But no, I thought they were signing off when Uso came out. I thought Uso came out. All right, good night, everybody. Because it was 2 hours. And I thought the show was over. And then you said we're going to go 3 hours. I went, nope. And I was like, wait a minute. There's about 1 or 2 matches we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so it might even go 3.5 tonight.
But yeah, I thought they had to go at least 3 to get all their shit in. And when they blew 22 minutes of it away at the start, I go, well, they ain't leaving much time for the talent. And then Cody's out there with the fucking front row seat. And the next thing you know, Cody's doing a run in. So I guess they let him go to the back after all.
Yeah, they rotate the front row seats to.
I guess.
I did like how the one rapper came out with Uso, and he's lighting up a vape and carrying a can of beer. And I'm thinking, it's nice to see that the arena rules.
Yeah, they're a little lax for celebrities, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
So, but thank you, Jazzy Jana. We haven't seen her comment in here, but she did send 20, and she did say she was wanting to help Eunice with her backpack. So, all right. So thank you, Jazzy Jana. We appreciate that. And I told these people we were going to do everything we could to help them tonight. So if we could make 25 more in the next 5 minutes or so, that would be great. And I'll hang around a little bit, even if Bob wants to get back to Raw. I'll see it eventually. And if not, then we'll kick back in here tomorrow night and see what we can do. And there's Evelyn. Evelyn, we helped recently get her roof and everything done. I sent them some money to get them some. What did I send the money for, Bob? I normally send you the receipts. I think she was needing rice and noodles or something like that.
Yeah, isn't she like 40 something? Am I confusing my people?
What's that?
Isn't Evelyn like in her 40s?
No, Evelyn is I think like 22.
Oh, I was wondering why the heck a 40-year-old woman was calling you daddy.
No, that the oldest one that calls me daddy is I think Jambi is like 24. But there's one in here that's 29. And what is her name? Hang on. Let me see if I can find her name. She's 29 and calls me daddy. And I think she's the oldest. Hang on here. I got to find her name. Joey Jean. Not Jelly Bean, but Joey Jean.
Not Jelly Bean, for sure.
Not Jelly Bean. Another show.
Yeah, that's a long story. Super Bowl prediction yet, Kenny?
What's that?
I think we're going to see Detroit and Buffalo, and we will get a first-time NFL champion this year.
Well, I am rooting for my Louisville Lamar Jacksons to just march through this shit. They have the capability. If Lamar is on his game, he's fucking hard to stop. And if the king of running backs is on his game, he's hard to stop. I mean, they thought they had him shut down the other day, and that motherfucker ended up with 150 yards rushing. Yeah, I'm doing good, Evelyn. And but yeah, Evelyn was one of the ones that we helped get a little food, even during the shutdown time. A lot of these people need help, and whether we're doing shows or not, I said, well, we'll try and earn it back. But we know you need help, and you can't wait 5 days for food, so we do the best we can. I thought we might even get a little something out of the old tea maker tonight, but I guess the Bahamas took a lot out of him. I don't know. Let's see here. But the ghost doing $20 tonight. We appreciate that. That was nice of him. And Jazzy Janice said it'd be nice if somebody would match her $20 to get us to the $100 mark. So that would be great. Thought my racist brother might donate something. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
You know what? He should donate $1.
Casino losings.
He should donate every single day of the Trump presidency.
He should.
simply because Trump has made America great again and
Yeah.
made his life so much better.
Well, my old boss my old boss was bitching about how horrible things are, and Trump was going to save America. So maybe he'll hire me back now that America is going to be great again. Maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, he asked me to name anything. Well, now that Trump has picked wars with Mexico, at least Cold Wars with Mexico, Canada, Greenland, and Panama. The stock market dropped 3,000 points right after he started doing that. The stock market drops 3,000 points. The stock market peaked at 45,000 plus. Trump's highest rating ever stock market, which he used to brag about all the time, how great the stock market was, which proves what a great president I am, peaked at 35,000. Biden took it 10,000 points higher than that. So if we're judging by the stock market, and we can't because not everybody's invested in the stock market.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some stocks,
everybody.
But the average American doesn't own.
Just like free internet is not going to help everybody. It ain't going to help me. It ain't going to help Bob. Probably most of the people in here, it's not going to help. It helps the Republican deadbeat who wants something else for free from Democrats.
There's always, the possibility, however, that being exposed to knowledge might give them information, and that would turn, nah.
But I'm trying to figure out how Biden's the worst president ever because of something to do with Iran, and it's worse than Korea. Well, the only one I know blowing dictators would be Trump, and that would be Putin. That would be Little Kim Jim Ung. Little Kim,
the guy
that would be the turkey guy who doesn't like to be called a dictator, but that's what he is. Orban.
I'm surprised he hadn't gotten chummed up with the Marcoses there in the Philippines.
Well, New DeMarcos is apparently not as dictatorish as the parent regime was.
Oh, okay.
As you've probably been hearing, Duterte's daughter has publicly said she is going to kill DeMarcos because he's prosecuting her parents for war crimes or some type with the shit he did when he was in office about killing drug users.
All the drug, yeah.
Yeah, this is helping you, Evelyn. We're giving you good information here. Enjoy your life. Well, thank you, sweetie. Glad you're watching.
Enjoy your life, Kenny, while you can before the Marcoses. Before the Marcoses come after you.
I sent you the video of my poor dog struggling in the ice and snow and the cold.
I was surprised they didn't climb the snow wall there and make your neighbor's wall their own again.
Well, two of them have tried, because he cleared all his property over there. He paid somebody today. They're the ones that cleared off my car for me for $10. Okay. So he paid $50 an hour for our lawn people that does this property and his. They came and cleared all of his sidewalks, 4 stories of steps, got out looking prim and clean over there. So my dogs see that. Yeah, we're just going to go piss and shit over there. That looks good. So they tried to climb the wall. And it's easy because you just walk up the ice
big
bank.
Snow bank right there. Yeah.
Walk up the ice bank of 16 inches of snow and just walk right over. So Choco tried it. Actually, between me and you, because I know he's not watching, Choco left a little bitty turd on his side. But he got covered up with snow when they come to shovel the sidewalk. But Choco dropped a little Yuletide log, a little Yuletide over there. And I wasn't going over there to get it because if I fall down, I might be out there until March. So I wasn't taking any chances. But I do have a doctor's appointment on the 9th. I have to go for a stress test to get ready for my surgery. I took my Bumax today, and I'm already cramping up sitting here in my chair. So did anybody have the decency to donate that last $25? I bet not.
Nope.
Good old Jazzy Jana was the last decent person we had in here tonight. Yep, she's it. Oh, well.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, Donald Flowers. Thank you, Chris Schmidt. Hard to believe we're saying that. Thank you,
King. Why weren't you on the show tonight? Everybody else. Well, I guess I should have been there.
Well, I guess other than not flying you out to LA.
Yeah, and paying me the big money and all that.
Or buying a badge.
Yeah, or buying a badge. Buying a badge would have been good stuff.
Yeah, Kenny would have been out there if you had bought a badge.
Well, I know who he is, and he never donates and never gets a badge. Maybe tonight will be the night he donates to get us to the $100 we need to help these 5 families out. Maybe he'll be the guy. We're waiting because it's 11 seconds. It's a 13-second delay before he can comment again. But we'll see if he's the guy. Maybe he'll donate $20.
Prove me wrong.
He's certainly been able to save up a lot of money the past few years that he hasn't donated or got a badge.
Donating, yeah.
You're predicting he ain't gonna do it?
I'm predicting he won't. Prove me wrong.
I say he will. I say he will. I say he ain't gonna be the asshole you're saying he is. I think he'll donate. He's got 3 minutes to do it. Oh, I'm cramping so bad. I took Bumax today to try to get some fluid off from me, and goddamn, it catches up to me about this time of night. Sleeping is a bitch the day I take Bumax. Oh my god, because everything cramp. Your hands will cramp, your thighs, your calves, your fingers. This might be more information than y'all want. I have had my ass cheeks cramp on days that I've took Bumax, especially if I take it 2 days in a row. Every other day, every third day might not be quite as brutal. Give me some college playoff games. What do we got coming up? We got about 3 minutes.
Thursday and Friday.
Jacob is going to donate here. I say he'll do it. I say he's a decent human being. You say he's an asshole. I say different.
Kind of what I was saying. Yeah. All right. We'll
see. We'll see.
Now Friday is the games at the Cotton Bowl at Texas and Ohio State. At the Cotton Bowl, and that's where we could have some win remix there.
And that's not technically a home game; it's just going to work out that way.
It's pretty much. Ohio State's favored by 6, or at least they were.
Are they really?
Last time I looked, and that may have changed. The NFL odds changed a lot. They were pretty impressive last week.
They were scary against Oregon.
It's now it was 5.5 now. So
cramping, my stomach's cramping, my sides cramping.
It is down to 5.5 now. But I think Texas has a chance to win this game.
I'm in here in pain and I can't get anybody to donate.
And then Thursday night, Penn State and Notre Dame, they play in the Capital One Orange Bowl.
So Friday night is Texas, Ohio State, right?
Correct.
8 o'clock game, I guess.
6:30 p.m. Central.
Oh, a 6:30 start?
6:30 Central. So 7:30.
On Friday. Okay, 7:30 here then. Okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds a little more reasonable.
And then 7:30 start Thursday night. Penn State and Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl.
Hey, well, I'm going to take Ohio State over Texas.
I'm going to take Texas.
I'm going to be really big for Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is capable of beating Penn State.
Notre Dame is a 2-point favorite, and as much as I hate Notre Dame,
you fucking Southern Baptists kill me rooting against those good Catholics the way you do.
I know. I'm gonna
99% of our audience is Catholic, well, at least the Filipino version.
I'm going to take Notre Dame to win the game. However,
all right,
I would rather they not, but
I'll be rooting big time because they're glorified ACC. You know, they play 5 ACC games.
Well, they're all but ACC. Well, they're in the ACC in basketball, aren't they?
In everything. They're in ACC in everything except football, so they can keep their contract with NBC.
Yeah. Hey, works for them.
Guys, pardon me, but I'm in pain here, and I can't get none of you to donate that last $25.
Yeah.
Well, Jacob Broomfield just left in a hurry, didn't he? He's fuck that.
Yeah.
A badge.
He proved me right. Hello, Art Gel.
Well, look at little Art Gel in here. How's little Art Gel doing? My little baby. My favorite little 10-year-old. Happy New Year, Daddy and Uncle Bob. And everyone watching. Well,
I got promoted to Uncle Bob from Sir Bob.
And is Raw still going on, or do we know? Can anybody tell us?
I don't know.
It's over 3 hours now. Is it still going? Because I think they would wrap it up at the 3-hour mark.
I think they're going to go a little long the first night.
Over 3?
Yeah.
It's a long show. Bob, I'm out of my drink. Take over for about 3 minutes.
Shut it down. We're done.
Are we? Well, have we picked all the games?
There's just the 2.
Oh, that's it. That's what we're down to.
The 2 college games, yeah, and we'll pick the NFL game. So the NFL games are Saturday.
We're in the Elite 8, but I guess we're not.
Yeah, we're down to the Final 4, so that's it.
Well hang on.
All right, so regular season, I finished 134 and 108, which is a wonderful 22 4 games over 500. You were 126 and 116, which is still 10 games over 500. And Jason numbers don't count because he didn't.
Where's he at? What's his deal?
Well, this is an unexpected Monday night show. So,
well, he doesn't show up for the expected shows.
Well, if he doesn't show up for the expected shows, you sure can't expect him to show
sure
up
can't expect him for the non-expected shows, can you? Hang on. I hear we have a last second donation on the app. So let me see what we got here. I'm trying to see. Hang on. All right. All right. Chris Schmidt has donated $6 more, so we're only $19 short of our goal. We're only $19 short. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it. We're $19 short. Who's good for $19?
Now, I know you don't watch other podcasts, but if you can find Chris Van Fleet's interview with R-Truth.
Oh, yeah.
That's worth watching.
I could see that being pretty good.
R-Truth is extraordinarily entertaining.
Yeah. They didn't have him on tonight on Raw, did they?
They didn't. Well, not that I saw, but
not that we.
The deal with Brock when he runs in there and he declares for the Royal Rumble, and he says he's going to throw that over the top rope, Paul Heyman, and that was a completely unscripted, and Brock had no idea. He legit made Brock break character.
Yeah, it's well, as a matter of fact, I got Brock to. I got to find it. We were on Wave 3 listens. And we'd showed up to do Wave 3, the morning news, to promote our first big Louisville Garden show, which was going to feature Brock Lesnar, the Demon of the Deep Leviathan. I think Undertaker was going to be there. Kane was going to be there. The big show, Mark Henry. It was a real big show we were doing. So we're there at 6 o'clock in the morning with Mark Henry doing Wave 3 news. They interview us there. They say, oh, my God, that was great. Would you come back and do Wave 3 listens with Don G? I said, yeah. I said, Dawn and I know each other, and it'd be an honor to do her show. I said, guys, are we good? Because we had a limo taking us anywhere we wanted to go that day, provided by Terry Burnett at the Dish Network satellite store. So I told Terry, I said, Terry, we might need this limo all day. Is that cool with you? Fuck, if y'all going to be on TV promoting shows, everywhere you go, I get promoted. Sure. He said, I'll pay for the limo for the day. So we do Wave 3. We think that's the only one we're doing. Then Channel 11 contacts us, and they want us to go do them. Then Fox 41 contacts us. They want us to go do them. Then Channel 32 contacts us. They want us to go. So we're doing every news channel in town. And then we go back and we do Wave 3 listens, and Brock Lesnar is at that one with me. So they got me and Rico on one side of Don G, Brock Lesnar, and I forget who other, maybe Sin on the other side. At least Brock. I can't remember who was over there with him. And I told Brock, I said, well, I said something about it. I said, yeah, I said, that's mighty big coming from a guy with a head like a snapping turtle. And he starts laughing. And he's supposed to be the good guy, ready to kill the heel. And I told him he had a head like a snapping turtle. And he starts laughing. And Jeffy goes, what is he doing? He's the baby face that wants to kill the heel. And the heel cracked him up on a live TV show. And he said, what if he does that in the fucking ring? Because Brock was kind of new with us then. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was to make him mad. I thought if I said you got a head like a snapping turtle, it would make him mad. But no, he starts laughing hysterically that he was told he had a head like a snapping turtle. So he can be got. And apparently R-Truth got him as well. So, yeah, he can be had. But I got him 20 years ago. 20 plus years ago. Apparently R-Truth did it somewhat recently. So what was the line that R-Truth said that cracked him up?
Well, he came in and he was saying he was declaring for the Royal Rumble, and that even though you're big and you're heavy and you've been around this for a long time, I know I can throw you over the top rope, Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
And then Heyman's like, I'm not in the Royal Rumble. You'll have to you'll be fighting Brock Lesnar. And then Truth is like, I officially undeclare for the Royal Rumble.
I'm not in this goddamn thing. I didn't realize that shit. One thing I'll say, I had heard rumors that Paul had disappeared for so long because he had weight loss surgery. Well, I think we can kill those fucking rumors.
That was not a successful surgery.
It didn't go as well as my first one. It did not go as well as my first one. I worry about him because when you see the old pictures of me, how big my fucking head was and how there was no separation between the head and the neck, and your throat gets that much fat around your neck. And let's face it, Paul has that. And I worry about him from a health standpoint, because that ain't good when you're packing that much weight around your neck. That is the one thing I'm as happy with as anything. I still need to get a lot more off my legs and my stomach. That's why I'm doing another one to try and shed another 70, 80 pounds. But I hoped he had done that. And when he come back and I saw his head was just as big as ever. And I don't mean that in a degrading way. I mean that I want him to live longer. Kenny, have you thought about, he's high and drunk again. He's high and drunk. That's what I'm just sitting here talking about. Yes, I've been talking about that for 3 or 4 weeks. And I have to go through these different stages. I had to answer 640 questions before I could get cleared to do the surgery. Then I had to do my...
if you had a chance to throttle Chris Schmidt, would you? I mean, it was a lot of questions.
Yes, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah. I had to do my cardio test just a few days ago, and that was successful. And now I have to do the stress test. And then I have one more final meeting with Dr. Oldham on the 12th. And then I'm pretty sure we'll be setting a date. I was hesitant to do the gastric bypass because that is a little bit more risky than the one I've had. But in order for me to lose that extra 70 or 80 pounds, that's probably what I'm going to have to do. I lost 280 the first time, gained about 30, 40, even 50 sometimes of that back, depending if I'm taking my Bumax or not. And I need, if I'm going to live much longer, I have to knock off that 70, 80 pounds to have a fighting chance. But the bypass is much riskier than the gastric sleeve. And it's very, very life-changing as to how it processes your food, what you can eat, what you can't eat, how strict it's going to be for me for about 3 or 4 months, maybe 5 months. I won't be eating much real food. It's going to be protein shakes, clear flavored waters. When I say clear, shit you can see through. No sodas. So these are about to go. And so it is a big time adjustment, but the 12th is the 12th is my final meeting with Dr. Oldham. The 9th is the stress test. That's why I had to get them to dig my car out so I can make that. And then they're going to get me a date set up before March because they're worried about me losing my real good insurance when I turn 65. They might want to put me on Medicare A and B, and I won't have the passport that pays for everything now. And A and B costs $450 a month. I cannot afford that. And then I can't afford the additional bills that come if you don't have the extra coverage.
That's insane, especially when someone's on disability.
Yeah, and I still get disability check. So why they would take that from me, I don't know. And I'm not 100% sure they're going to, but I hear it's a possibility because the government tries to get out of paying for as much as they possibly can. So I don't know. But if they take that away from me, that'll be another reason I'll be strongly looking to find a home for my dogs and have to go to the Philippines so I can afford to make it. And I may not have a choice. I don't want to leave my dogs. I love them to death. They're certainly like my children. Chris says thanks, but he's leaving too. So again, and it might be the only way that I can financially make it is to go there. I might not have a choice. So girls, are you ready to rumble? I thought for sure Triple H was going to do, let's get ready to suck it. But he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
He did do his "Are you ready?" gimmick.
Hanging on the go suck it.
Yeah.
So you would think that would have got us the other $19 we need, but it did not. It did not. All right. Well, chances are pretty good. I'll come back here tomorrow night at 8 or 9, something like that. Probably 9. And we'll try it again for those of you that give a shit. I do know the algorithms are fucking with us real bad. When I had so many people write me begging me to do a show, and we peaked at like 24 people when people are frozen in their homes. Now, yeah, I know we were going head to head with Raw for quite a bit. We might still be. I don't know. I don't know how long they're going. Looks like people are writing me here. Waiting who wants to laundry. Okay. Art Joe. Well, Daddy, it's snowing there. Yes, it is. Chris Schmidt sent a video. I sent you another 6. You need 19. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, we didn't get that other 19 though, Chris. You tried, man. You tried. And where's that one guy? Let me find him, because he is the amazing Kreskin. He disappeared in a heartbeat. We didn't see any more from Team Maker. Team Maker left us. Didn't see any more from the Maker. Well, we start asking for money. People have a tendency to go away. The good old Paul RJ down in Australia was good for $10. We appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Paul RJ. And that's a lot for, I mean, because
that's a lot.
Exchange rate does suck.
There it is. There it is. No badge. Great to see me. Why weren't you on the show tonight? Well, I don't know. Oh, well. Well, you were right, Bob. He's an asshole. He did not get a badge and he did not donate. So what do you do? All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. We're going to see the rest of whatever the fuck we were watching. I will more than likely be here tomorrow night at 9:00, and if we make $60, we'll stay past 9:30. And if we don't, we